Why, hello there, fellow astronauts. Rodamont here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers' Brutal Vulcan, episode 74, setting up a second landing pad. Once the frames are installed, I'm not going to print up more flat walls because I'll use some of the flat walls here. So we'll also need 2 flat walls here in the staircase as well. So let's get 2 more. I wonder how much carbon dioxide we have now. We have, like, kind of an inverse problem where, like, I have to keep an eye on it to make sure we don't have too much rather than too little. Good problem to have. Alright, now that 2x8 space is ready to be included into the base, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to deconstruct everything that's in there, you know, once it's part of the base. Oh, before we go out, my character's like hungry as hell. I feel like I just ate. I feel like my character's like, yep, all I need to survive is 16 square meals a day. And, McComb, to answer your question, it's exactly as Turtle Sandwich, or both the turtles say. The H2 combustor is both an unnecessary system and taking up a lot of space that I need in order to set up another ice crusher to process the oxygen that we are going to be generating off of the other rocket land. So it feels a little weird that I'm like, in order to launch one rocket, I have to, like, rebuild this section of the base, but I could have slapped the ice crusher somewhere else. It just doesn't make sense to put it anywhere else other than, like, exactly where I had planned for it to go. Which is why we're doing the redesign, because everything around me right now is completely unnecessary to have. All of this infrastructure doesn't help us in the slightest. It doesn't do anything for us at all. We'll never, like, ideally we'll never use it again. Because why would I need to blow up oxygen? Oh, I'm missing 2 frames there. I totally forgot. So I'll need more frames. But only, what, 1 more? Or something. Brain's bad at mathing right now. The fuel tank is needed. Yes, this fuel tank is needed, but it might be better to move it. So the idea that I had was, like, to take this old tank, empty it out, and treat it as the fuel tank, and then move this fuel tank so that I don't have a giant ticking time bomb inside my own base. Because I don't really need that in there. And then this vent is the nitrogen filter vent that needs to be reinstalled over here. Maybe I'll do that right now. So I know it won't be hooked up, but until I start running something through the centrifuge or arc furnace, it doesn't really need to be hooked up, but remind me to hook the N2 outflow filter back up. Alright. Let's go ahead and Move these 2 flat walls. God, it's nerve-wracking breaking into a base like this, because it's like, did I actually remember to install something on the other side? Because if not, I'm dead, you know? But, you know, I did, thankfully. Yep. So I miscounted by 1 frame, because I won't have one for there. We'll just have to go grab it. Actually, the next step of this is also... Oh god, I hate composite windows for that reason. You have to crowbar them twice, but if you miss, you, like... super break your base. So much fun. All right. Also, I'm going to need to swap batteries for the welder. I might not even have the battery for this. Looks like this thing's gonna die before it's finished. Oh no, maybe not. Want critical. So I don't have the frame for this, but I want to double check that I have the wall installed here. I'm pretty sure I do, but just like better safe than sorry because I'm not doing it the frame right now. Anyway. And then while I'm standing here, I can at least put some of the flat walls that I had back as ceiling tiles. This is where they were going to get installed eventually anyway. And let's put... shut your face. Oh my god, jetpack, what are you doing? Let's put 2 windows here. That's not a window. Alright, let me try that again. I didn't have it as the correct wall type. Don't worry, it occurred to me. Eventually. Nope. What a pain. Alright, so we'll need, flat wall, flat wall, flat wall, flat wall. So 4 flat walls to finish this off in 1 frame, and then the sheets required for it as well. But we're getting there. Did the welder have a swim in lava at some point? Yes, I was holding lava, a steel sheet, and my suit went all for, a little bit of a dip. It was a good time. So 4 flat walls and 6 sheets or 5 sheets, I think. And then we should double check on the crew quarter double wall too. And yeah, the welder bat swap. Farm looks good. How much oxygen are we up to now? Oh, 4.5 kilomoles. Pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, there is a wall there. I just wanted to make sure the wall was there. Because if it wasn't, I would be in real trouble. I think I have everything for that now. Oh, yeah, I should have reconnected that nitrogen output pipe. I'll do that in just a moment. Thank you for reminding me. What is going going on with the jetpack? I set thrust to, like, nothing. Stabilizer. I can't set the thrust down anymore. This thing is, like, violently throwing me about. Okay, this is ready for a frame. God. Arc welder glasses required. I didn't actually make my flat walls, did I? Ooh, go me. So, yeah, just to reaffirm, 2 more flat walls. Whoop, frickin'... Okay. There's something weird with the jetpack. So, thrust back up to 50. The initial burst, like, sends me flying. So we'll need 1 there, so 3 total. And then we can remove the walls on the inside and then expand the base and start profiting off of that space, meaning making a silo, crushing ice, etc. Can I just remove the walls by the old Kohler? I probably could. Yes. But I don't mind having extra flat walls. It's not really a problem. Alright, the N2 exhaust line. That's here. Let's fix this before I forget. There. So now when we... Because the only intake for the N2 is the advanced furnace and the arc furnace. But basically it just captures the nitrogen and dumps everything else, because we just assume that everything else is we don't want. Because it's not worth the heat. Only nitrogen's worth the heat. So, with that said... It's hypothetically possible that oxygen comes off that vent line. So that vent, it might be wise for that vent to, like, go lead somewhere really not close to the base. For the, like, fact that that belches out fire occasionally. We'll fix that later. Okay. The Annex project is done. So what I think I'm going to do is, I want to set up the ice crusher. Once I make a little bit more room, I want to set up the ice crusher, and then I'll, like, properly strip out the H2 combustion system. Because I want to start processing the ice so that we can launch Barton, the exploration rocket. And for this logic wall, I'll set up walls on the other side so I don't obfuscate the logic once the frames are gone. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay! We didn't die! We didn't explode! Yet. Always include 8 yet. Much, 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 much more spacious. I love it. So let's go ahead and set up the extra ice crusher basically here. And I'm, like I said, I'm just simply flatly ignoring the old H2 combustion system. to get the ice crusher set up. But what I do need to do is to break this... Oh, shoot. Break this down in sequence so that it doesn't, like, go become a big problem. If I remove those, would it hyperpressurize? Nah, it'd be fine. So I just deleted gas with my wrench. Magic! Alright, so we'll need a crush... Well, alright, let's think about this sequentially. We'll need the... You can turn off. We'll need the umbilical for cargo, and then the launch tower for the connecting umbilical. So let's work in that order. The other thing that happened was, I'm going to dump out some extra oxygen. I know it's funny because we need to use this oxygen to make rocket fuel, but I'm about to get a whole bunch more oxygen, and that's because we added a lot more volume to the base, but I want to be able to breathe without a suit on, so I'm adding more oxygen to the base for that purpose. And then here is the backdrop for the logic wall. Put that back in. Maybe at some point we'll like remove and move this logic so it's more open, but that's not part of the project right now. Or is this breathable? Yep, should be fine. Okay. For this project, take off my suit and air out a little bit because I'm sure I have stink suit. I also have like my hardsuit jetpack completely full of like random junk, and I'm gonna need to deal with this at some point, right? I've gonna end up with like a lot of leftover stuff from stripping out the old H2 combustion, because we're not even done, right? There's all of that needs to get destroyed. All of this. And we need to make sure that, like, we don't hyperpressurize anything, it doesn't implode, doesn't explode, etc., etc., etc. So, we'll need 2 chute umbilicals. Copper and steel. One for the tower and one bonus for the rocket. The chute umbilicals itself don't require any building materials, so that's fine. Then we'll need the tower, the launch tower, and the height of the chute umbilical is like 3, maybe? Of course, without a helmet, I can't check because I have no flashlight. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 high, because I think the old one was 3 high, yeah. So we'll do a 3 high tower. And then we'll need the silo and power cables and all that jazz. Hey, Tamarin! Thank you for the resub. And howdy to you too. I wonder how much water we have. Oh, you know, I can... Ooh la la. There's 62 liters in the pipe alone? Oh yeah. Technically, it's hooked up to this, which is incorrect. I mean, there's so much fixing we have to do. I laugh. It's inner pain laugh, if that makes sense to you. And then the launch tower, I don't believe requires any materials to... Yeah, it's just insta builds. Got it. I definitely don't have the heavy cable coils to, like, hook up anything. So we'll need that as well. So there's the launch towers required. And let's get some heavy cable coils. I'm also very low on copper, so we might need to go copper mining. On top of that, we'll need a silo, which is more copper, steel, and gold. And then the silo itself, we don't really need a silo, but I want a silo. That might be better put. The silo itself requires a lot of steel, plastic sheets, and cable coils. So 10 plastic sheets. Before I print up a bunch of plastic sheets, do we have any? So we have steel sheets that I should probably hold on to, because I'm sure I'll find use for them. I don't see any plastic sheets. Checking up on all my ACs to make sure, because I've been clipping power here and there. I want to make sure that everything was plugged in. Seems all fine to me. So 8 more plastic sheets. And going with like a full stack of cable coils, probably not a bad call. We have the steel sheets for that. Yeah. Okay. You're surprised I need more cables? Yeah, right. And that's not including like all the chutes required, and then the on top of all the chutes, the ice crusher, etc., etc. Probably an extra oxygen tank, because there's like physically nowhere to even put the oxygen. Also haven't checked on the damage to the rocket itself. So right now we are setting up an O2 ice crusher system and storage. And it's, needless to say, this is a little dangerous. Water, when it melts, evaporates and goes away, bye-bye. Oxygen ice, when it melts, goes kaboom on Vulcan. Like, super explosion, game over, I die. Because the atmosphere is hot enough for instantaneous combustion when an oxidizer is present. Whether it's N2, NO2 or oxygen. So just like keep in mind that we need to treat the ice as a bomb, because essentially a stack of ice is a bomb for all intents and purposes. It's like a live grenade with the pin still in. So when you're building the system, keep in mind the chutes are moving around live grenades. Like, you can honestly think about it that way. Hey Mel, cheers. Thank you for the raid. Happy to have you here. You are playing Final Fantasy Online. Oh, sweet. A game nothing like this one. So welcome to the like knee-jerk change of vibe. But pleasure to have you raiders here. Alright, I probably have enough stuff to start setting up. Oh, we're also going to want another frame or two for the silo. So we'll hold our frames in our pockets too. And then I'll need another chute to change the direction of the hookup that we have right now. My iron should be in here. Yeah, you hadn't raided in a long time. True. That is true. I know nothing about MMOs. I don't play MMOs. So you're welcome to regale me about what you did today. Keeping in mind that you might as well be speaking to someone that won't probably functionally understand, but I'll do my best to... what was I doing here? Yeah, shoot. And I'm not worried about overprinting chutes, because like we're going to be using a lot of chutes, so it's not a problem. Is this my where is my CO2 storage tank? Is it this one? Oh, shoot. That was weird. No, I don't want the room. I want the tank. Oh, that's the H2. Okay, that isn't it. Is it here? No, that's the vent. I thought I installed it on this wall on the outside. Is it here? If it's whatever. Well, I'll find it once I'm outside. I didn't fix it to the wall. It's floating. Oh, brilliant. Well, it will forever be like that, because I probably won't I mean, it doesn't need fixing, so why fix it if it ain't broke? Oh my god, I'm hungry again. Is time, like, am I in, like, some sort of time just alteration field or something? I feel like my character's hungry, like, every 5 minutes. Did Dean Hall do it again and, like, update hunger mechanics unbeknownst to everybody? Like he did once upon a time, just before Christmas? If you don't know what I'm referencing, it was, food used to not rot. And then, right before, like, Christmas break, the CEO of Rocketworks pushed out an update to make food rot and seeds rot and all that, without actually giving us any means to, like, keep food refrigerated or whatever. So basically, he bricked the game, because the game was unplayable until they, like, rolled it back or fixed it. And people were, like, furious. They were like, why change it? No one asked for this change. All you made it is this game can't be fixed right now. Like, can't be played right now. Yeah, there was understandable frustration with that zero warning update. Alright, so first things first, let's try to hook up a dual umbilical. I really actually don't know if it will work like that. I'm very curious if you can't just, like, umbilical both sides. I'm not sure. I've never tried it, so we're learning something new. Apparently it, like, refuses to connect to this one, though. I might need to uninstall the other one. What I was trying to do is to have a rocket able to face both sides. Is this just backwards? That's probably what it is. No, not shoot window. That would be the last thing I want, thank you. Okay, so anytime I want to reverse the sides, because I don't think there's a shoot T. Oh, there's a flip-flop, but I don't think it flip-flops. I'm not going to be able to reach the handle reasonably, so, like, I'm not even going to bother with that. Damage. We did have an explosion here, so... Wow, the surface scanner head is 100%. I don't see any visible damage when I uninstalled the, like, ever-heating up rocket. Yeah, these cables are, like, untouched. So I think it's fine. I don't think there was any real damage done. Okay, so the umbilicals that I have are built on the 4th tile away. So this is, if we're counting this out, it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we would have our other tower here to hook up to the umbilicals. And then the paired shoot umbilical is at this elevation? Yes. Perfect. Well, that's step 1. We still don't have the silo. I should have queued that up to be printing, but I didn't. I'm going to make a little bit more space here so we can put a silo down. I also want to move that fuel tank eventually, but that can come later. I want to start processing the ice now because ice processing is not instant. It takes a while to build up the supply, so that's why that's coming first. All right, then the power cables, and we'll set up the power cables in the same way, where it pulls off a tile and then down. Now, I don't need to set up the rest of the launch tower because we don't necessarily need to relaunch Dastardly Dave soon, right? We have a whole bunch of ice for both oxygen and water. You know what? I'm a little concerned that I'm not going to keep it connected because if it, like, the chute turns on, it will spit ice, oxygen ice out, and, like, that would be like a cannon being armed. So that part's done. Now we just need the silo. And then the chute system's hooked up to an ice crusher. And then the, yeah, that really is floating, huh? Oh, that was weird. Like, saw inside. That's why I couldn't find my, CO2 tank from the inside. Because it's just floating there. But this is not overpressurized. It's only about, let's say, a fifth of its max. So that's fine. All right, next step, we are going to get the silo and then to move all the ice from the rocket to the silo. To move gold and copper in there. Might run out of gold and copper pretty soon, though. And then for the silo build, we need 15 cables, or actually 15 sheets, 15 steel, 10 plastic, 5 cables. So I have the steel, plastic, and cables on me, no problem. And then the chutes required to hook it up. Yeah, getting to this point, just responding to chat, learning the game is like, it's not an easy game to learn. I'll be honest. It's a rather challenging game. It has a very steep learning curve, and the penalties for failure are quite high, even when considering save scumming. And it's just a high levels of engineering. And the game mechanics are not well documented, and the knowledge base is pretty small. The wiki is somewhat incomplete and doesn't paint a full picture. TLDR, very, very, very challenging game to get into. With that said, very rewarding once you do. I love it. Game's awesome. It's just not easy. Alright, just doing a little bit of tidying up. So here's our silo. So let's go ahead and get this silo built. And then transfer the oxygen ice into it. Farm looks good. And then... yeah, we obviously burnt through a whole bunch of oxygen trying to repressurize our base a little bit. Ooh! Oh, never mind. I'm wearing a helmet. I just can't simply hear it. I was like, oh, I think the ice crusher's done. No, I'm just deaf. my love of the game shows. Yeah, I try to play games that, like, I enjoy, because, like, I basically don't take sponsorships, and I have no interest in shilling games I hate to you guys. Like, that's... I mean, I'm not, like, a journalist or whatever. I'm not trying to be. But by that same token, even if I'm not a journalist, doesn't mean I don't... Like, I do care about my integrity at the end of the day. So, this is a little weird for, like, silo placement. But I think it's far enough away from the rockets that if they were to splash down, it would be fine. That, and I don't think the water rocket should even be landing if the silo still has water in it, because, like, why get, or oxygen rather, why get more ice when we already have ice? Well, whatever. All right, so next stage is welding torch. And then plastic. Does this get welded too? Yeah. The chute intake should be at the top. Yeah. And then the output is in the front. It's mirrored. Yeah, it's the same unit, so I'm not covering it by putting it next to the tower. Although, no, actually, this is ideal because the outflow is right next to the tower's intake. This is even better than the last setup, to be honest. Requires less chutes, fewer chutes. If you can count them, they're fewer. No, hold on. Sorta, well... So... I actually don't know where the umbilicals for power and gas is going to be. You know, I'll push this unit one back this way so it doesn't interfere. Because I can see this being a problem in the future, and I don't want to fill it with ice and then have it be a problem. So, you're right, chat. I didn't leave enough space. And then when this one empties out, I can do the same thing and have them mirrored a little bit better. So that it's like silo and towers next to each other. If we care, I might not. I mean, at the end of the day, if it works, well, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, right? Maybe I'll move it 2 units away. That way I have more, like, wiggle room. My welder's like, what the hell, dude? All this, yeah, I've used up half of the power. Good lord. Okay. We'll definitely need to hook up power to it. We, at some point, might want... And this is like a nice to have, not a need to have, but like... I've been saying, having additional heads-up displays here to extra computers to control the rockets, and then extra panels to see, like, the gas pressure of the tanks, or whatever else. Those are all, like, nice-to-haves to have on the tarmac or launch pad or whatever you want to call it. And then also maybe, like, data to figure out how full the silos are. I can always come out and see, like, hey, it's a 5 left, so we're getting pretty close to the silo being empty. That's amazing. But, like, I have to come all the way out here to check that. So, there's a lot of, like, nice data heads-ups displays that we could include in the future. No windows. Shut up with the windows. Straight 1. What the hell? Where's... There we go. No, actually, corner. Oh my god. So you can see, I was never really any good at chutes and ladders. You know, it doesn't need to be that extra wiggly. Let's clean this connection up a bit. Essentially, like, unnecessary zigzag just makes it look more complicated than it is, and I don't need... The game's complicated enough. I don't need it to look more complicated. That will just put more people off. So there we go. We have the umbilical can make a connection to the rocket, and then the rocket can dump to the silo. Well, what's important is that we do this soon because the rocket's probably running out of battery power and won't be able to, like, be controlled from the rocket control. So let's get the ice moved. I'm going to turn on the silo, turn on the umbilicals. I'm just going to save just in case. Moving O2 ice. Deploy umbilical, and then I probably won't be able to reach the handle because I don't think I built the handle in a reachable place, so we'll go to the computer inside and do it from there. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Brutal Vulcan, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodomont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodomont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Stationeers.